Time to take on this wench and prove Rayfa, well, what we can.
On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb.
Did your father seem different or troubled in any way?
Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing.
There was?
Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of its usual color.
He screamed and he was looking pale? What do you suppose happened?
I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream.
Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the queen.
It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm.
Sorry, that was rude of me. Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important?
I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony. My father let out a scream and came dashing out of his room, his face pale.
Hold it! And why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out?
I didn't see anyone else. Just my father.
That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this? Yes, press harshly.
Your benevolence. Let's have some details. The more, the better. Details, you say?
Yes. For example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no?
Foreign devil. I've been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if only I had stopped him then.
I think you've struck a nerve. A rather obliterated one.
Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow.
So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, your benevolence.
I have been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but father was the only one I saw.
I don't know. Maybe Albie's statement can prove that.
Objection!
Your benevolence. You're covering for someone, aren't you?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Rayfa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that, at around 2 p.m., his dog got loose and ran to the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone.
Ah, that's Nana's. I mean, nothing. Never mind.
You fool of a daughter. It seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nana sometime after 2 yesterday.
Ugh. No!
Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw.
Ugh. It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana. And I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence.
I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Because my mother told me not to.
What? Would you care to explain, your eminence?
I request that she withhold such information, for it is of no relevance in this case.
Objection!
You don't get to decide.
If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to this case at hand.
Oh, I will. Your benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana.
All right. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down to the courtyard.
Wait, that means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard.
Yes, but only for a moment.
This is crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing.
Ah!
Your benevolence? Are you sure no one else was there?
Oh, yes.
She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her?
When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was gone.
Gone?
Yes, and I never saw her again after that.
Any idea what happened?
That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up.
I seriously doubt that. But how can Nana simply disappear while Rayfa wasn't looking? Rayfa must know something. The only question is what? Where'd Nana disappear to? Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to?
What do you mean?
Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. And it just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment.
No!
Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. It sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder, and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rayfa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rayfa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean...
First my father and now Nana. These were the people I trusted most. How could this be?
Objection!
Do not heed their lies. Lawyers are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb, that much is certain.
How can you be so sure?
When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed curse spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rayfa? Yes. Yes, it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water, and if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga.
Huh? Then...
That's right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters.
How do you know?
It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana.
That's right. Edwin and I did see some shoe prints in there.
Now do you understand? Nana could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person of the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination.
Ugh. Another glorious seduction! All hail Vegeta's that is her eminence, Queen Khura'in! Bow down before her glory, witless lawyer! Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but Mr. Wright, your benevolence. What time was it when that dog attacked Nana?
I believe it was about 2:15 p.m.
I see. Apollo, if Nana entered Inga's private quarters at around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... I know what you're getting at. Yes, that might explain his scream. Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because he was attacked by Nana. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime.
Objection!
Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in the tomb. Or are you suggesting that the body was moved?
Do I think the minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility doesn't exist. I'd say there's no way that the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Nana's attack, but Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how those two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Nina in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. I see. On the one hand, this seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible.
Prosecutor Sadmati, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of?
Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore
Objection!
it. Oh no!
I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous, so he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed.
Oh my, are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Nana with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back to her to flee,
Right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind.
Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Insolence!
How dare you bore me like this?
Huh?
You are a humorless moron, spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel.
I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence.
Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing.
Your Eminence.
Ha! Not again.
Neuta! You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice once you've been stabbed in the back, but a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Now hold on! Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain. Ah! Please stop! Neuta has a point. Normally, most people would notice a dagger in their back. Ow! Yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. Still, in this case, it is the word normally that we should emphasize. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Right, there must be something that explains this. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that. Very well, please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Minister Inga notice they had been stabbed? Yeah, that's simple, the painkiller shots.
Take that!
Ah, those are my father's painkiller shots.
The defense will explain the significance of this evidence. Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence.
You can't mean.
Minister Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injected the painkiller.
Therefore, it's entirely possible that he had noticed that he'd been stabbed.
What? What's this? Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back? I am, your majesty.
So then when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him? I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well.
Yes, the knife was there. It would just plunge in so deep you didn't notice it under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Nena in his private quarters.
Por concha!
Holy mother of Khura'in, are we dealing with the living dead here? Well, technically he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss.
Nena killed my father. There must be some mistake.
The defense would like to call Nena to the stand.
Objection! You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever?
Well, there's no real proof, but...
What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave. I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now?
I'm sorry, Rayfa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nena's involved in this case, one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open, well, there's no turning back now.
You fool of a lawyer. I know why you are so desperate to prove the accused innocent.
You do?
Yes, because he faces public execution if proven guilty, as shall you under the stipulations of the Defense Culpability Act. From the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives.
No. The simple fact is, I've always believed that Dirk is innocent.
Bah! Still you cling to your pretense? Very well, I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit that the accused is guilty right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him and you will not be subject to execution.
Is this some sort of joke?
Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. And with the wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate.
She wasn't kidding when she said that she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong.
Forget all that has transpired in our kingdom and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer?
If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? Continue. Screw Khura'in. Nice try, Khura'in. But it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Eminence. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so don't worry. I'm with you, Apollo, to the bitter end if need be. And while I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo.
But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me?
I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me.
You nincompoops! You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing?
I believe that Dirk is innocent. That's why. And besides, trials exist to give the truth a chance to get out into the open. You can't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment.
Even if that punishment is death? Does that not frighten you, Hornhead?
Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that.
A duty you're willing to die for? And yet I...
Duty. It's a heavy burden, all right. Rayfa looks like she's really struggling.
Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I'm even up to the task.
But it's no surprise, considering the torrent of painful truths she's had to face. Very well, then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act, then I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accuser's guilt.
Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect.
Do we have anything like that?
Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or shall I have the executioner start his preparations?
If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. I'd say that new evidence indicating a different suspect doesn't exist. Such evidence does not exist.
Just as I thought. I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head.
Glad I didn't walk headfirst into that one, then. So what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nana killed Inga, this trial's over, and so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need, even without evidence? You know, a key means of obtaining testimony here in Khura'in? Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting? It certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try. Your Majesty, a crucial step in uncovering the truth behind the case has yet to be taken in this trial, but I'm positive that I can back up our claim with this one step. You mean you will be able to prove that Nana killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that?
With the help of a certain someone.
You need help?
From someone?
Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But I suppose I must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth? Who else? Rayfa, Padma, Kurain.
Take that!
But that is...
Me?
Here in Khura'in, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments, but that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. If you're right about this, Rayfa's power should enable her to see the very moment Nana stabbed Inga. It'll be hard to watch your father's murder, but it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence, we need you and your power.
You need me?
Objection!
God damn it.
Wretched simpleton, did you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time, or is it your goal to make her collapse again?
Objection!
Oh, that's not gonna happen. The princess says she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now.
Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty?
Isn't a Divination Seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down a verdict without one. Indeed, it would be problematic. Under Khura'in's law, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
Such insolence!
You little scapegoat!
Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall.
Huh?
As ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following.
She uses a nail to sign crap.
Henceforth, the Divination Seance shall be optional.
What? She has the power to do that? She just rewrote the law with a flourish of her hand.
Mother! I do not wish for the trial to end like this. It is as the defense said, I must not neglect my duty simply because I am afraid. I shall go through with it this time. I will conduct the seance once more.
Such insolence!
Why don't you shut up?
Rayfa, do not be fooled by his lawyerly guile.
And I meant that to Kurain.
You are not prepared to witness your father's death. But Hornhead needs my help. Rayfa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapse in a most piteous fashion. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For has not the bard one there overturned them more than once? Ooh. You cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, be gone. This sacred hall of justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. Worthless?
Wow, how can she say that to her own daughter?
So, Mother, you think me worthless?
Objection!
Oh no. Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she's even made the attempt.
Very well, Horned Devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give my consent.
Really?
However, should Rayfa fail once more, you two and the accused shall all be executed on the spot.
Come again?
This has proven to be far more entertaining than I had anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? Will you wager your life and call on Rayfa to perform a Divination Seance?
Yes. I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. If you say you can do it, then I believe in you.
Hornhead, I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death.
I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you.
But despite that,
you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction and that courage.
My courage?
Ah, so she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right, and that's a bet I'm willing to take.
But it is as Mother said. I've erred in my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
Objection!
I wouldn't take stock in those words, your benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all.
Huh?
In the trials I've been a part of here in Khura'in, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances. Because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provided served as vital leads to finding the truth.
Vital leads? My seances?
So please, your benevolence, try to perform the Divination Seance one more time.
Objection!
Rayfa, stop this madness. It is for your own good. You are ill-prepared to face your father's death. Go, leave this sacred hall at once. No. What did you say? I said no, Mother! For I am the royal priestess of Khura'in. I have no need for you now. Even if you do not need me, Mother. Hornhead in this Hall of Justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. It is because of him that I now understand. The Divination Seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it, no matter the risk.
Your benevolence.
Mother taught me that the Divination Seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth. But I began to have my doubts after Bart had disproved the insights it offered. And now I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Naina, I had believed in them above all others. But I finally know now. I know in what I can trust. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Khura'in should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk from it again.
That's right there, your benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggles so far. The truth that you realize with your own strength.
As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through.
Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct the Divination Seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that it might reveal something you find inconvenient.
Mother, I am done letting you have your way. Rayfa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen? Though I am scared to see my father's death, I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me here today.
Rayfa.
I am the royal priestess Rayfa Padma Khura'in. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Your Eminence, it seems the princess is more grown up than you thought.
Rayfa.
Well then, let us proceed with the Divination Seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.